Any manager using registre-de-la-copropriété.com needs to understand the concept of physical person or legal person. So this video is to explain what is a physical person or legal person and answer your question on this subject. The physical persons or legal persons of your co-ownership are all the individuals or businesses that are manager, administrator, co-owner, future buyer, or the notary of a future buyer. To begin, you'll have to enter the coordinates for each physical person or legal person. Among other things, the name, the address, and the telephone number. This information will be used to create a virtual address book easy to consult and to generate mail merge lists. Then you'll need to say if the person is administrator and or manager. Then you'll need to mark the private portions of which he is owner and or the one he is a future buyer of or the notary of a future buyer. Please note that an expiration date is assigned to the future buyer. Following this date, access will be denied. It is important to complete this information correctly, since it is by these that the access to the registry will be given. The managers and administrators will have access to practically all the information and documents of the co-ownership, while the co-owners will solely have access to the information and documents of their own portion. Finally, a future buyer or his notary will have access to only a fraction of the information and documents related to the portion he wants to acquire. These accesses were predetermined by jurists specialized in co-ownership. It is important to distinguish an administrator from a manager, since management rights are reserved only for managers. As mentioned earlier, administrators and managers have access to virtually all the information and documents of the registry. However, only the managers have the right to modify the registry information. Also, the use of the various management tools is reserved for the managers. Finally, it is important to note that any physical person or legal person who is manager can also be administrator. So that the physical persons or legal persons access the registry, you must send them an invitation. So after entering all the information about the physical person or legal person, you enter his email address. Then you submit, and the invitation will be automatically sent by email. In order to accept the invitation, a physical person or legal person must firstly create a free user account on registre-de-la-copropriété.com or use an account previously created for another co-ownership. Afterwards, he will have access to the registry. Take note that you are not obligated to send the invitation immediately after the creation of the physical person or legal person. So, when creating a new registry, you can enter all the information in the registry, including the physical persons and legal persons, then launch the invitations when you see fit. Furthermore, you'll be able to add, delete, and modify the physical person and legal person throughout the life of your registry. In many cases, we can find more than one owner for the same portion. When confronted to this situation, you need to create a physical person or legal person for each owner. You must do so because one might be administrator and the other not, and would not have the same access to the registry. You must also enter the percentage of the portion held by each owner. This will be particularly useful for the vote compiler, since even if two people live in the same portion, it is not said they will always vote the same way. Furthermore, if one of the two owners buys out the other, you simply need to modify or delete the physical person or legal person bought out, and this person will not have access to the registry anymore. In the same vein, if a new owner acquires parts of a portion, you will only need to create a new physical person or legal person for this owner. Also, it is common that one individual owns more than one portion in a co-ownership. In this case, you only need to create one physical person or legal person and attach to it the two portions. Obviously, there are some people who don't have an email address and are therefore unable to access the virtual registry. However, it is still important to add them to the registry, since you'll still need them for various tools like the vote compiler or the mail merge lists. You need to create the physical person or legal person and simply not send the email invitation. We hope to have answered your questions.